Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. It's a special day. All JM. We're getting close. Only two more. My God. Let's talk about it.
I'm the ambidextrous guy they just drafted.
Mississippi State. Know who drafted him? I think Seattle.
Okay.
Pitching, that's what they need. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. It's all JM Day, baby. Sneaks up on you. And I guess next one could too, because it's August 7th. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you to SeatGeek, Code Talkin 10. Glad you were throwing the ball today, because after this, I'm heading to the warehouse and we be hitting. So if you're looking to tune into some fun content, homering off every speed up to 100. So they're leaning on me today, Trev. You know that.
You are the warehouse king, Poppy. I was wondering, why are we starting August 7th for All Jam? Then I looked back to last Wednesday was in July. So
Yeah.
It makes sense now. I'm always excited to look through the numbers and kind of see where everyone's at. You know, obviously we follow the game of baseball, but when it gets put on a sheet like this, and we have all the stats and it's grouped up into position, it's a telling story. Jake Story Alley.
Yeah. Well done, Trev. I know you're having a simulation day over there. We'll talk about that later in the episode. I think with this, it's time to get into it, because we're looking at some guys that are looking to actually run the table for some silver daisies. We got some that feel like it's coming. I will say there's one or two guys that were on the path that feel like they're off the path now. And some not their own doing. We'll talk about Bobby Witt in a little bit. That rhymed. Hey-o!
We're crushing it today.
Trev, it's Wednesday, so we start with the American League. And this whole episode is brought to you by Fanatics Fest. We're going to be in the building. First ever Fanatics Fest. 3-day event. Think Comic-Con, but sports. Listen to these names listed. Jeter, Brady, Plouffe, Manning Brothers, Storiali. Still don't know how to say my last name. We're doing the JM Baseball live show. I think it's Friday the 16th or whatever the 16th is.
Are we like on that main stage?
Center stage. I think we're main stage, Pop. There's rumors. I think we might be getting you and me, our new best friend, Big C, might get involved in it. We'll see.
Whoa.
Yeah. So testosterone high.
I gotta now I gotta figure out an outfit. Like this is.
No, it's real. I think
Okay.
I think like all the NBA guys are supposed to be there too, because it's like a gap in their season. So we might see some gold medals, hopefully.
Isn't Mike Tyson gonna be there? I just saw our old buddy Dan Canobio.
I hate you, Trev Plouffe. That was a little southern for Tyson. Head to fanaticsfest.com. Use code JOHNBOY20. 20% off your tickets. Fanaticsfest.com, JOHNBOY20. We'll see you there. It's supposed to be the real deal, like Holyfield.
Is Tyson related to Cole Ragans?
Cole Reagan. He loves Cole Reagan. We'll circle back on all of that. But we have to start out with the AL catchers. That's where we head around the horn. And it has been a year of Big Salvi Perez. Man, he has taken it home every month. And I think we have landed in the recent months. We're like, hey, someone go get it from Salvi, because we've had guys hanging out. Unfortunately, the guy that was supposed to be the guy this year, Adley Rutschman, is hanging around, and the numbers are in a very similar area, so we got to talk about him a little bit. Other than that, Connor Wong has come onto the scene. He's still short some games. My guy Logan O'Hoppe of Nicky Cass connection and fame, I think he has a good argument, because he's actually playing so many more games at catcher. Those young legs help you out a little bit. But Trev, I'll kick it to you, because counting stats, Salvi still has it. Everything else is neck and neck.
So for me, it is kind of like a two-horse race here, and again, Sal has had it every single month, so that does
Yeah.
it does mean a little bit of something to us when we're looking at all of these stats and who to pick for this month's award. I do also love what you pointed out about Logan because we do value that. Like this is
Right?
the catcher position, so you got to be playing catcher. Now Sal has 66 games at catcher, 24 at first base, 20 at DH. This is through July. So they're trying to keep him fresh
Right.
because he is an offensive threat for that team. Makes sense. He's only 34.
Which is weird.
Seems like
It's his 25th year in the big leagues, which is
that's what I'm
weird.
saying. Seems like he should be 44. Um, so Logan gets the nod there as far as, games played.
Right.
I'm kind of taking Adley and Connor Wong out of the discussion for now because I do believe it. Although those guys are having great years, it's between Sal and Logan for me right now. I guess you can throw Adley's in there enough, but he's got 32 games at DH. His numbers aren't quite as good as Sal's when you really start looking at everything. So I'm going to give the nod to Logan for the games played and Sal for the overall counting stats. Um, 89 games at catcher and only 3 at DH for old Logan. I will say this about Sal.
Say it.
I've said he's a statue guy for quite some time. I didn't really have all of his awards in my head.
Mm.
5-time Gold Glove, 4-time Silver Slugger, World Series MVP, 9-time All-Star. He is a statue guy. I've kind of been like throwing that out flippantly.
Oh, you thought that was like Trevi takes.
Not really. Like I'm like this guy could get a statue. Like he's
Right.
been there for so long. He brought the World Series, all of that. But like now it's looking like yes. Like they just announced that Joe Mauer is going to get a statue outside Target Field. Obviously that makes a lot of sense. Hometown guy. But I mean Sal's awards, besides having an MVP to his name, I mean they are similar to what Joe Mauer has done in the game. I think Joe Mauer is a better overall player, all that, but I don't think Sal's a Hall of Famer. But you get what I'm saying, Pop. This guy is a statue guy.
He's a statue guy. I don't know if I need that in my head right now. I'm trying to give out.
I'm just thinking about that, Coach. I had the sheet in front of me,
Right.
and I saw all the accolades, and it kind of took me back a little bit. So, I'm leaning Sal here because the offensive numbers, like overall, like you're talking about OPS, you're talking about the slash line, very similar to Logan O'Hoppe. Sal with an 803 OPS, Logan with an 801 OPS. The F4 Logan's got by 0.1, so it's 2.2 to 2.1 there. But then when you start like kind of like diving more into the numbers, Sal walks more, although it's a little bit more, strikes out less. And then you go to the counting stats, and that's where it kind of gets me. Sal leads him in doubles and homers. The runs driven in is kind of the big separator, so I don't know how much you can fault Logan for that.
Right.
Being on the Angels versus, hitting behind Bobby Wood Jr. So
Right.
there's that to take into account. But 73 runs driven in to 44 runs driven in. That's like maybe enough for me to be a separator. Because again, all the counting stats favor Sal Perez.
I want to check out one thing about young Logan O'Hoppe, 24 years old, doing it on the Halos, who have, it's been an uphill season for them. And man, I was going to check out some batting order stuff, mostly 5th or 6th in the month of July, and kind of same coming into that where, obviously Big Sal's always been in the middle of the lineup. I guess, honestly, the conversation here is in birds. Let's start getting into fighting season as the Yanks and Orioles go to fight for the AL East. Adley, like, let's go, man. The OPS at the end of July, 755. Like, he's better than that. I know he's had some lefty-righty splits this year, and I think he's had a couple of nice games to start August. Adley, start coming. This is supposed to be your crown. I think it stays on Big Sal's head. Some of the counting stats can't be ignored. You're right. Some of it feels opportunity-based when you're talking to RBI. But 73 RBI to 44 RBI, that's significant. But But I do have my eye on Logan, man. I think if he put together a bigger August than Salvi, he would pass him between the catching requirements and where his stats will end up. Somehow Big Sal still has close to 80 more plate appearances, too.
Sal's been graded out better defensively as well. And Logan, I mentioned this before, kind of in jest, but 2 stolen bases, 3 caught stealing. He's actually like a pretty fast runner. He's well above average in sprint speed. So, like, hey, Logan, like, let's just figure out the base pass a little bit, too. Sal Perez, though, Jake, with runners in scoring position, 358, 459, 569 slug for the $1. That's how you keep the crown, baby.
That's how you get your bread buttered. I think early congratulations to Salvador Perez. Hey, we make the jokes about age, and there's something about just his big body, and when you say statue, I don't know. Just keep Big Sal around. You don't even need to build one. Just when he retires, hand him the manager keys. I think he'd be up for it.
Oh,
like why even bother? Congrats to Salvador Perez, who's been the best catcher in the AL. Soup to nuts this season. Farm to table.
Maybe for like an hour a day, they just have Sal go stand out there in a pose. And that's it. That's the statue.
Dude. Okay, Kansas City, if you're listening, maybe Salvi Perez, we build a first, mold. Like, actually put Salvi out there for a day and let's, baste him or whatever. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm in. Basting Sal out there.
And we're a little H getting started. Congrats to Big Sally. Speaking of big, this AL lineup is currently looking thickums. Because first base, the conversation has nearly ended. It's almost time to stop the fight. Because Big Vladdy Guerrero has gone nuts for a couple months now. It started out Josh Naylor, so it was never not thick at first base this year. Josh Naylor had the first 2 months of April and May. Vladito kicked into gear June, July, and he is head and shoulders above everyone else's stats right now. 311 batting average, a 383 on base, a 907 OPS heading into the month of August. 524 slug. If you want WAR, if you want weighted runs created plus, if you want anything, Vladdy's got it right now. That whether Naylor, Vinny Pasquantino sneaking in the mix, no one else has an OPS in the 8s, and Vladdy's sitting at 9 right now.
I was hoping Josh Naylor would give him a run because of what he's meant to Cleveland and, what they've been able to do, I guess, with runners in scoring position as well. But yeah, you're right. And Vladdy's just taken off. I believe since May, he's just gone nuclear. 907 OPS. And again, this is a guy that we've talked about on this show plenty, had the big year. I believe it was in 2021. And then everything else has kind of been just pretty good, especially for a first baseman. And this year he said, screw it, man. Like, it's time to go. And he has been absolutely tearing the cover off of the ball. So yeah, I think he gets it. There are some really good first basemen. I'm actually happy to see this because in years past, we've the first base market hasn't been great.
Yeah.
Teams were starting to use it as a rest day and kind of getting guys over there. Now we got some boppers. I'm down for that. Vinny's looking great. Carlos Santana for the Twins, and I know people are the Twins. This guy's been great. Defensively, he's gonna win a Gold Glove, which is crazy because I believe he's 30,
37 or 38,
something like that. And he's going to win the AL Gold Glove at first base, and he's actually been very, very clutch for the Twins. His numbers don't match up to Vladdy's. I mean, I think Vladdy does kind of run away with this when you start to really look at it. So,
well, this is I think maybe the last number I'll leave with the people with at first base. Vladdy had a tough first month, and I mean not crazy bad. I think it was a 693 OPS or something. Which, okay, again, you expect more from Vladito. Since then, May 1 through August 6 now, so we're talking summer plus. 1 350, 414, 1.022. That's 81 games. So for half a season, I think, what was it? What was the stat the other day? Judge and Soto are the only two that have 1 for the full season. Vladdy,
4.
If you remove a month, because Witt snuck in there for a little bit
on
the day we did it, and Show God, that Vladdy's been that level, and changes his whole career outlook a little bit.
Can I give you my favorite stat?
Sure.
Vladdy? 49 walks to 73 strikeouts. I mean, that's a great ratio. That's when you know you're locked in. When you can get those walks up towards the strikeouts. If you can go 1 for 1, obviously that's amazing. Percentage-wise, I don't know what he's doing, but it's close. It's nice.
Congrats to Vladito for keeping it going. At second base in the American League, man, it make him extra sloppy a little bit. Although, I think we do land in a safe place. It's just a little surprising. Marcus Semien, who has been a perennial choice at this position.
This one's so interesting to me.
I guess I'm excited to talk about it because it's a little ugly. It's gone. The Texas two-step Silver Boots crew. Jose Altuve, Marcus Semien, Jose Altuve. So he's not currently in Daisy competition. Trev, I'm interested to see you talk yourself in circles on this. By the way, Colt Keith made the sheet. Again, a little bit of distance, but maybe shows you what's going on at second base this year, although he's kicked into gear. Willie Castro, who's been around for some util in second base, doing good things. This turns a little into offense versus defense because, Semien's numbers are back to league average offensively, but he is the best defender at the position. Jose Altuve, numbers 129 weighted runs created plus, 806 OPS. He's kind of heads and shoulders offensively, ironically. But Marcus, if you get caught up in WAR, he would be the layup pick, but I kind of don't.
So we've done this before with AL, second baseman.
Yeah.
And that's when me and Alex Bregman became best friends.
Yes.
When we gave it to Andres Jimenez because the defense kind of outshined what Jose was doing with the bat. And we talked about that. And I think so there is a precedent set there where, what do you want from your second baseman? Like what are you supposed to be doing there? Obviously we love offensive stats, right? But your second baseman, I think guys up the middle, you need to have defenders there. That's just the bottom line. So if you're looking at slash lines, Jose's got it. He's got the on base percentage. He's out slugging everyone. The OPS is up there. But then you look at the counting stats, and Marcus kind of has everyone, right?
He's
got more runs driven in, more runs scored. He's got the most homers. He's got right on pace with the doubles. And then you look at the defensive metrics, and Marcus is running away with it.
Right.
Like he might win the Platinum Glove this year. So it's and Jose's been below league average in that regard. So I think we are at the point now where do you look at strictly offensive numbers, or are we looking at the all-encompassing stat of WAR and what they bring to the table kind of on defense? We've like I said, we've kind of set a precedent here.
It's very interesting because Semien had a bigger July than I thought.
He's been going.
Well, Altuve's is very solid. Actually, really good contact, not a ton of pop. It gets straight. Semien still has some tough splits against righties this year, which again, that's what you're going to run into the most. His right-handed righty versus right, 225, a 294 on base percentage, a 673 OPS. That This guy is supposed to be the table setter for the Texas Rangers, and he had a nice month, and they've got a lot of guys that were struggling. Me and BBD did for Wake and Jake kind of an all underachieving team this year, which is tough words for me to put on paper, and there's still time to turn it around. There's a lot of Texas Rangers on there. And I don't know, this is supposed to be the guy at the top of the lineup that, like, yes, the silver, or if he gets the platinum glove, that's part of the reason you gave him that contract, and that's how he can be a very strong contributing player. They need this guy to hit more, and he did pick it up in July, but it's not enough for me. I mean, for me, it would still be Altuve.
I do want to give Altuve some snaps because his sprint speed is in the 44th percentile, so below average, but he's got 15 swipes on the year. Just a good base runner. Like, I love stuff like that. It's
right.
Like making me want to pick Jose. I got to be honest with you. I'm leaning Simeon.
Oh.
So I don't know what we're doing for, the decider here.
Let's leave it in the balance. I'll send a text to John God. If not, it goes to his consigliere BBD. But we'll tease it in the air for a little bit, and we'll let everyone marinate on their thoughts.
I don't think Altuve is like, if he had a 900 OPS,
right?
We're talking something different here. If he was totally crushing the counting stats, we're talking something different here. He's really not. Like, an 800 OPS is very good. We always talk about that. You get in the eights, you're a great player. But I don't know if it's enough to get off of just the all-encompassing play that Marcus brings.
But that's also the positional scope of this. Like, it's not like there's anyone at this position doing it. Like, currently the 800 OPS is 50 points better than anyone. If you're looking at Willie Castro, to Simeon, it's close to 100 points. So, all right, let's see if John God showers us with his love. And we'll
For reference, Marcus has 16 outs above average, and Jose Altuve has -4.
I'll let him reference what he wants to reference. I just sent over
I'm
names.
talking to you. I'm not talking about Jimmy
to me.
Jam. I know who Jimmy Jam's going to pick.
You think he's going Altuve?
I do.
Wow. You're so jaded. We've broken you.
I just know.
Baggage rotten.
You know how long we've been doing this show? A long time.
Can I tell you what I didn't see coming? The American League shortstop position.
Sheesh.
Where Gunnar Henderson, Chase and Judge, we're talking MVP, we're talking historic shortstop performance, and we still kind of are, but it's also flipped to Bobby Witt, who these two have shared the shortstop position. Bobby was there in May, but that month we started doing the fan vote, and Bobby and Gunnar have taken that. That Gunnar's name has been on it the whole year. Bobby Witt technically missed out at the month of June, but currently for shortstop voting, there's no way you can't pick against Bobby Witt. It's Bobby by a chunk right now.
I don't think it's Bobby by a chunk. I know he's just absolutely gone off. Like, if you kind of, start to get back to the numbers, Gunnar is putting up a hell of a fight. Like, I don't think it's like a first round knockout. Like, I think he's holding his own there. But yeah, I'm voting for Bobby for this award. Like, what he's doing, Jake, is absolutely insane. Like, he is tearing the cover off the ball, playing exceptional shortstop, stealing bags. Like, he was already 30-50 last year, I believe. And what's he going to get to this year? He's got 19 homers. Maybe more now, but through the month of... So it's going to be another 30. And how many swipes is he going to have? He's only got 24 through... Okay. What's up with the 24-10? Okay, now I'm looking a little bit here. 24 bags, 10 caught stealings? I don't love that.
You're out.
Are we just running the run now?
Seems like we're just running a run now.
He's got my vote. There's no doubt about it. You can't vote against him here. I'm just kind of like going deeper into the metrics. And now I'm looking at his complete stats through August 7th, and I'm like, okay, like he's okay. My vote's for Bobby.
It's for Bobby. Gunnar in the month of July had a 751 OPS. For him, underachieving. For a lot of players, really nice month. Bobby Witt, 1.35 OPS in July.
He also participated in the home run derby, so.
So it doesn't break your swing?
He did lose that, though, Jake. Does that take it down a little bit?
Yes.
To your guy, Teoscar. No, but Bobby is just crushing it. I mean, every single category.
He's a freak, man.
He was hitting 349 through July. Still means something.
Still means something.
Oh my gosh,
What?
At this point of the season, looking up and seeing a 349 on the Jumbotron, knowing that you can't hit under 300, you could just be the worst player. You're going to hit 300 this year. Talk about lead in your pencil.
It's a lot of it in Kansas City right now. Congrats to Bobby Witt Jr. For controlling the AL shortstop position for now. Gunner's off to a big start in August. It ain't over.
I'm looking now. Yeah, it was Gunner, Bobby. Okay.
Yeah.
And did Gunner, you said, so Gunner did have a chance. Still does, I guess, have a chance for a Silver Daisy if he ends up making the fan vote.
Gunner gets the fan vote. He'll still be in line for a Daisy.
Bobby is not.
Bobby's out for the Silver, yeah.
Bobby is out.
It's hard to get one.
It's hard.
Lost the fan vote.
To be good for 6 months. Really, really hard.
To be the best for 6
months. Vladdy. Like, yeah, it's near impossible. Just like the AL third base position, which has been one of the favorites throughout the years. Our guy Jordan Westberg came out of the gates shooting from the hip. Still kind of did, but Jose Ramirez kind of took his throne back, a place that he's very familiar with. But speaking of big months, the guy that he's often dueling with, Rafael Devers, is right there, if not past him, Trev. I'll let you marinate. And I did have my first laugh. Isaac Paredes, who'd been in the mix the whole time, now a Chicago Cub. So see ya, dude.
Yes, he is. But he's not in this conversation, really.
No.
I do want to give a shout to Paredes, and I do want to give a shout to Josh Smith, who's been like probably the most important Ranger. I guess they're still in it, but every time I think that the Rangers are going to do something, they don't do something.
Yeah.
Almost got no hit by Framber. So shout out Josh Smith.
Sure.
I want to make sure we say that.
Why not?
Was he a Yankee?
Yanks prospect.
Traded for Gallo.
Yanks.
What? Why'd you laugh like that?
Well, you guys, okay. This is an interesting discussion between Rafi and Jose Ramirez, because Jose Ramirez, and just like that whole freaking Guardians team, has been absolutely crushing with runners in scoring position. So he has some of the counting stats. Ain't no doubt about it, over Rafi, which is interesting because Rafi plays on a very good offense, one of the best offenses in baseball, at least lately. And he doesn't have the run production of a Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez scored 77 runs. He's driven in 87, while Rafi scored 69. Nice. And driven in 69.
Nice. But
Rafi leads in the slash line. Am I right?
I mean,
Rafi's
by
a wide margin. By a wide margin.
Rafi's one dotted the past 2 months now.
987 OPS to Jose Ramirez's 860 OPS. 383 on base.
Slug.
To a 320. He's almost at the 346 club, which to me automatically gets you the nod. He's 305 average, 383 on base. If he gets that up just a little bit more, we're talking the exclusive 346 club. This is tough, man. I know what Jose brings to the table, and he's swiping bags, 20 bags to Rafi's 2. But I think my vote's for Rafi here. He's just been overwhelming offensively at third base.
I'm with you. This conversation we've done probably our most done conversation on All JM, which credit to these guys, and that's the whole point of doing this. And normally the numbers are so in the same ballpark. Usually it's Devers with a slight edge, but then you look at the stolen bases and you think about the defense, even though, the metrics have gone either way on both guys at different times. Rafi's been playing at an MVP level for 2 months now. And J-Ram, he had a mad month last month. He had a really good month the month before that. I think it was a 9 OPS that it was like, wow, these two just can constantly do it. Where Devers is at for me, it is above J-Ram right now. Whether it's the 6 slug or, dude, 982 OPS as we sit here today, he has returned to being, if you're talking best hitters in the game, Devers has to be in the discussion.
Yes.
Doesn't really matter where the ball is. He just plans on hitting it. And kind of, what you said, everything about the Red Sox offense and even where they're positioned as a team, Devers is a massive part of that. So I think Rafi takes back the throne. Wow.
Can I say something?
First win of the year.
Snaps for Rafi. Let me just get a little Royce Lewis in here. Let that guy play a full season.
Stop
Please,
it, dude.
Lord, stay on the field.
That's
He's
the
special.
game.
That's great.
Special. He hit one against Shota last night through the wind. Nobody does that. He cut it, Coach. Boom. I'm just saying.
He's awesome.
Be on the lookout for Royce Lewis. I mean, he might get September.
Definitely not. Definitely
if he goes,
not.
how many games has he got right now? Like 30?
Dude, stop. Devers plays as many games as Royce Lewis does in a month.
Royce has
35
125 at bats.
Stop it, dude. He's
14 homers, dude.
He's a really.
I love watching
he's
Royce
really
Lewis
good.
play.
He's really good.
Slugging 680. He's a fucking monster, dude.
He kind of. That's one of the oddest stat pages I've seen.
It's crazy.
Congrats to Devers. Congrats to Royce Lewis. Sorry, angry Guardians fans.
Hey, I'm guessing you'll have a chance to get Jose in the fan.
Big
vote.
series
He'll
between
be
the
back.
Twins Guardians
I think
coming
he'll
out this
be on the
weekend. 4-gamer.
Gonna be an ugly fan boat. The American League Outfield is brought to you by Shady Rays. You're playing outfield, the sun's shining. You need your shades out there. You must have had a couple sunballs, Trev, in your day.
Yeah, you better put them on your face, not on your hat.
Yeah, kind of.
I love that. Honestly, I'm so there's some old adages that I'm out on, but that one I am so in on.
Yeah.
Like, you got shades on your hat, and you're like, oh, I can't see. It's like, dude.
Oh yeah, no excuses.
Gotta get him back on.
Excuses.
I'll go with the Shady Rays on the hat some time to time, but when that sun's crowing, you need your
But
Shady
when you're in
Rays
Yankee
on.
Stadium at third base, you're wearing.
Oh, I mean, I know.
The reason you have him on the hat is to get him on your face.
During
when the
those
sun
day
comes out.
games, you got people wearing white shirts in the crowd. You can't see the ball. I know it. And Shady Rays, they're the best in the biz. They got their loss or broken replacement guarantee. Or, hey, do you like a big sale? How about code Talkin, 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized sunglasses. That applies to the custom Jimmy and the Jake shades. I've been wearing the Jimmy shades recently. What's that about? I like to mix things up. Go to ShadyRays.com. Use code Talkin, 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. BBD, can you hit the passing button real quick? Passing. The John Boy vote is in. It was always Altuve. I mean, what do you think was going to happen? Marcus Simeon out
Only
here
guy above 800.
Flashing
300
leather.
Because
average.
he's terrified of Jose Altuve.
flashing
That's why.
leather. Get that out of here. Congrats to Jose Altuve.
And I think it's the right choice.
Wow.
One more big month, Marcus. One more big
Jeez.
month.
BBD
3-1?
just might as well dunk on Trev just for shits. Let's go to the American League outfield where there's been a couple guys. Well, this is where it gets fun. Juan Soto.
I think this is easy.
Juan Soto has been there every month. He is chasing the silver daisy. Aaron Judge is not.
That's start pop. Everyone forgets that. He was a horrible player in April.
Something like that.
Poor Judge.
Mike Trout still existed. Kyle Tucker normally around until he got hurt. Judge has obviously been there. Jarren Duran, does All-Star Game factor into this? No. But he has been killing it on the field for them. That the last month it was Soto, Judge, Duran. If you're new to all JM, you need a center fielder, which Aaron Judge has been, and I think Duran would qualify for too. That does the outfield just stay, Trev?
From last
Soto, Judge, Duran.
That's what it was last month?
That's what it was last month.
Yeah, I mean that's I was gonna say let's talk about the people that aren't gonna get the vote, but yes, that is who I have as well.
That's one of those that sounded like some mean ex-girlfriend stuff a little bit. Let's talk about those who don't get the vote.
Well, because I think it's clear cut. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we could just go and say these guys are here, and so we're not going to mention anybody else. But there's been some guys that have done some good things. You could talk about Stephen Kwan, what he's done for the Guardians offense. The Byron Buxton being out there for the Twins has just been awesome. He's slugged a ton this year and just really added length to their lineup. Tyler O'Neill, who you pointed out was going to be really good for the Red Sox. He's had a great year. I mean, through August, almost a 900 OPS, Jake.
Wow.
Suck on that, Jake.
Okay. I mean, I like Tyler O'Neill. Can someone send us Tyler O'Neill's pregame fits these days?
We need
Has it evolved?
Fits.
Has
Red
it gotten
Sox
worse?
got to be posting at least one a week.
Got to be out there.
Every time I've looked, I can't find one.
He's probably heard what we were saying. He's just going all athleisure. That's really what I imagine him in. Play it safe. Let me get some athleisure.
Wear it.
Show the pipes off.
I have him athleisure at home. I have him with Fitz. I have him as Fitz McGee on the road.
The one picture that we just roasted him for, I think, is purple pants, green shirt, right? Which, by the way, love the color combo. Those are my two favorite colors in the world. But it was giving off Joker vibes. And I think that was a road game with the Cardinals where they still had to wear.
It was first. Collar. You nailed it, and I don't like giving you credit when I don't have to. It was first time to Vegas vibes. I got a shirt. I love these pants, dude. Even the hair, he leaned into a little extra with the spikes. All that to say, you're playing awesome, Tyler O'Neill. Stephen Kwan, with how good those guys are playing, you need the games to catch up a little bit. Hey, the only other
fan vote last month.
The only other guy that I think deserves to be in this mix, and fans would be right to be pissed if we didn't talk about him, Anthony Santander, man. I know that.
Say it the right way.
Anthony Santander.
Thank you. 31 Jimmy Jacks through July.
The defensive metrics have never loved him. That's passed the eye test when I have watched him. I guess Orioles fans, let me know if you feel like it hurts him. But I think he is a perfect example of, I don't think this WAR matches, like him being listed as a 2.7 or 2.5 WAR, with the offensive production he has provided this year. No, give me Anthony Santander's or give me death. I
think what you're seeing, and we get jaded a little bit because a lot of times we focus on the best players, for good reason. Putting up a 3-WAR season is very difficult. Putting up a 4-WAR season is whoa. And then when you get above that, it's okay, these guys are superstars. It's hard to accumulate that, man. And so I think he'll get to in the 3s probably before the season's done. And I know what you're saying because you have the offensive numbers that he has. You'd expect it to be a little bit higher, but it's difficult.
If WAR wasn't listed, and I mean Jarren Duran a little bit of an OPS S plus, our made up stat with the stolen bases and even 12 triples. My God, we would still land on Duran, but. That WAR, our eyes naturally jump there now because it's an all-encompassing how good are you stat. But Anthony Santander, man, where his final numbers are going to land at going into a contract free agent season, Trev. That's going to be actually. This was a fun game.
Jarren Duran's a free agent.
Santander.
Santander. Okay, sorry.
Fun game around the office yesterday is what's Anthony Santander's next team? Because the Orioles probably let him go just because they have again, like every top prospect still on their way up for them. Comment below. Anthony Santander's next team. I thought it would be nasty work if the Blue Jays go get him. We'll see.
I'm so mad at the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Only other note I have on Duran. Everyone else in the conversation, there's guys you could make an argument for. Just Duran's plate appearances are so up. He's playing.
Sets the tone for that team. The Cora story, like calling him out on that is pretty cool, and he's been electric. You don't want to see him at the plate.
I don't want to just breeze over what Judge and Soto have done.
Okay.
I feel like we do that from time to time. I mean, Aaron Judge is an absolute monster. He is 3-4-6ing it, and I think he's the only guy on this page that's 3-4-6ing it. He's 316. This is through July, obviously. 316, 447, 689. I mean, that's
his slugs.
Firmly,
his slugs entered the sevens at points this year.
It's firmly in that note, and he's been incredible. And then 89 walks for Soto, 75 strikeouts. That's hitting in front of Aaron Judge. Like, that's crazy to me because people are going to come at you when you're hitting in front of Aaron Judge. That's just the rule of the land, right? He still has more walks than strikeouts.
Yeah.
And Aaron Judge, obviously he's getting walked a ton now, but the numbers are crazy up there too. 86 walks to 119.
The Soto at-bats are incredible to watch for obvious reasons. But yeah, I mean, especially that chicken and the mouse game. You're talking chicken and the mouse.
That's not a game.
I played a game of chicken in the mouse once.
Oh, yeah?
Chicken in the mouth with treble Plouffe.
That's Mike Tyson.
That was because pitchers aren't going to give in to Juan Soto. He's Juan Soto. You throw the bad pitch and it's gone. But they also are trying their best not to walk him. I mean, Juan Soto has them in hell. Like, I will not.
What's the chicken and the mouse? Okay. Cat and mouse.
It's cat and mouse, chicken and the egg.
I don't think there's chicken in the egg, bro.
Congrats to our American League outfielders. The American League DH position is a 2-horse race, and that race starts out in the beautiful American League West. Between Old Faithful and New Faithful, no one calls him that. Our guy Brent Rooker, kind of wanted to see him traded somewhere. But if you don't get the trade value for the guy with the OPS 954 at the end of the month, 26 home runs, he's been balling. 77 RBI? Like, what he has been doing this year, when you bring up the lead leaguers in OPS, Brent Rooker comes up top of the list. Yordan Alvarez, his numbers just year in, year out, end up in a dominant place. Trev, is it Rooker half easy?
I think the nod does go to Rooker, and I'm looking just at, DH days, outfield days, and usually we'll, take off points if you're not strictly at the position, but I think DH, you might even get some points if you're not DHing every single day. Yordan's got 33 games in left field. Rooker has 13 games in the outfield total. But I think it is pretty easy. I think Rooker is kind of doing everything just a little bit better than our guy Yordan Alvarez. And I'm looking like at even the power numbers, and I'm always shocked at Yordan and kind of the fact that he's not a 50 home run guy. He just seems so big and so composed at the plate, and he plays like kind of in the right park to be that guy. I wonder if one day he will just say, you know what? Like, is he one of those guys that can and just doesn't? Like, they always say that, oh, Tony Gwynn, Ichiro Suzuki, these guys could have hit homers if they wanted to. I never really understood that.
Right.
Didn't you just?
Then why don't you just do that?
They value batting average and hits, which is fine. I'm not trying to come at those guys. But to me, Yordan seems like he's going to get there. I think his career high is 35 or 36, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Rooker's got this. I mean, he's had an absolutely monster year out there playing for a team that's playing for nothing, dude. I think that even adds on top the fact that you're able to stay locked in when your team is just floundering. They've had some decent months, I guess, and maybe people could say, well, he's got no pressure on him. I guess he's still playing for a contract. He's still like, there haven't been necessarily meaningful games just yet, even for Jordan. They're going to get there, obviously. And he's helped carry the Astros back into the mix at the top of the AL West, so you have to give some credit there. But I think that overall, it's Rooker.
You're right. There's a hint of surprise in the voice because Jordan's numbers are in line. It is his career high in homers in a season is 37, which again, like that's a great number. 2023 over 114 games, he had 31. So if that's a full season, that would have gone to the spot. The homer numbers are a little down. The doubles are up this year. Your double. How about that? Brent Rooker is mashed, and you can't say, and I actually did a little bit of this argument with you. I was saying for Brent Rooker's value, the games in Oakland don't matter as much, that it would be just interesting to see him in a different scene. I don't think you can argue that his numbers are boosted by playing in Oakland with that team.
No.
But he's been incredible. It's Brent Rooker. As the best DH in the American League. Jeez.
Well, they flip-flopped this year, right? It was April, Jordan, May, Brent.
Yeah.
And then Jordan took it back in June. So a battle of the beasts out there. Okay. Congrats, Brent.
Good little AL West battle. There's some good NL West stuff going on. Little teaser for the outfield coming up. So who do we want to put in the AL fan vote, Treviello? I think
I have an easy, quick trio. I think Gunnar, Jose Ramirez, and I'm willing to put Jordan in there. If anybody else screams at you,
Gunnar.
Maybe there's
Jose
an outfielder
Ramirez.
I'm overlooking.
Santander would be.
I was thinking Santander.
I can be into that. I wouldn't go more than 4 in there. So if there's any outfielder you like over him, speak now.
I'm good.
Stephen Kwan, does he deserve to be in the fan vote?
He's been in a fan vote and won it before.
I think Stephen Kwan, he's got like the OPS over Santander, and he's got the WAR over Santander.
Gold Glover. I'd be okay with that.
Put Kwan in there. Two Guardians in the fan vote?
House divided. This time of year, we're talking purple states. We'll save that for the end.
Need that talk. Need the political talk.
AL pitcher, Trev. You call it. It's one of those weird things. For whatever reason, it never feels like it fits. It's gone Tanner Houck, Seth Lugo. Seth is still there. George Kirby has taken the AL pitching WAR lead, which is always just an interesting way to look at the pitching stats. Corbin Burns is your quality start guy. Scooble has been there throughout. Your preference in ice cream here, Trev?
I like Tarek. I do. I watched him pitch a couple times. I watched all these guys pitch, but I saw Scoobs live, and he is just nasty.
Yeah.
Big body boy. And the numbers aren't too crazy. There's no outlier numbers. These guys have all made all of their starts, which is great. He's got Ks per 9. He's right there for, lowest walks per 9. So you add those two up. I really like that. 10.6 Ks per 9 kind of, is high above the field that we're looking at right now. Doesn't give up homers. He kind of does everything that you want in a pitcher. Opponents are hitting under 200. Logan Gilbert has some really strong numbers as well. I'd consider him, but I think overall it's Tarek for me.
You're right. Maybe some of our listeners might be a little thrown off because sometimes I'm not a strikeouts super matter guy. Get me the outs, get me the ERA, which he also has that. But he is punching tickets. It's dominant, and there was a little bit of an innings gap for a second there, and that has closed down. I mean, he is within 12 innings of all of these guys. Congrats to Tarek Skubal. Been best pitcher in the AL. BBD's dark horse at Cy Young this year, kind of.
Grabbed him last round of our Cy Young draft.
Look at that.
Oh, gosh. Who did I pick?
Internet was a little right about him.
Oh, gosh. Congrats to the American League team. Excited to see the fan vote on that. Let's do some NL. Trev?
What were the results? I'm looking at starting pitcher. I'm not. You said it. So it's Tanner, Seth. Okay.
The NL brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. It's Trevor Plouffe time. Base is full. The drama of baseball is real, and get in on that action at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Live betting, odds boost, same game parlays. If you're new to DraftKings, go check it out now. New customers, bet $5 and you get $150 in bonus bets if you use code Talkin. That's code Talkin only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Let's bet on these Olympics, Pop.
I've looked at a couple. I get too proud with the Olympics.
You just go USA no matter what.
United States,
or Italy,
and guess what? It works out. We're the best there is. The National League wrapped up around the. I'll just do this. This will be easier. Finished up last month. William Contreras, Bryce Harper, Ketel Marte, Ellie De La Cruz, AlecBoehm.com, Profar, Jackson Merrill, Brandon Nimmo, and Shohei Ohtani, with Ranger Suarez in the outfield. Maybe pitching. He gone. We'll get there in a minute. NL catcher is still nasty work.
It's a weird situation.
Both catchers.
Brothers fighting brother.
Yeah. Both catchers. I need someone to take the throne. Perennial All-JM second place is Will Smith, who's lurking around, and maybe he gets first. I don't know. Wilson Contreras is on the board, but he's short about 40 games from his brother.
But he's racked up WAR in those 40 games, almost like a comparative WAR in those 40 games. I think he's out of the conversation. He hasn't played enough games.
I think you're right. If we are men of WAR, Patrick Bailey, F-WAR, is dunking on these guys, not B-WAR. He's lacking some of the offensive counting stats. I'll tell you what, defensively, if we're doing eye test, plain Pat is nasty out there. That I would listen to that argument when we're comparing him to the Contreras bros, or Will Smith, also pretty dominant defensively. What do you see, Trev?
I wanted to go maybe a different direction right here. Give Pat his flowers for, what he's doing defensively. Will Smith, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. But I think Williams still has it here. If you're just kind of we're basing these things off of the statistics, people. And he's kind of just played better than everybody else, even though Will Smith is there with runs driven in. William through July had one more than him. It's tough, Will. It's tough. He's got him in doubles and hits and at bats and games and runs. And Will Smith does have him in homers. Got that pop, coach. But I think William overall, he just got it. He's just got it.
Yeah, I mean, sorry to our Brewers fans if we sound a little sad. It's almost like if you were gung-ho on Pat Bailey, like he's the guy, what he's doing defensively and enough offensively. Like if we were into Pat Bailey, that almost brings Wilson Contreras back into play because their plate at-bats aren't that far off. And I think I would lean Wilson Contreras' numbers compared to Patrick Bailey, but then you're talking about games at catcher and games at DH. It's almost William by default, which I don't like to say that, but that's what it is.
I mean,
Maybe
It's
Will
so
Smith
close
too.
between him and Will Smith. It's so close between him and Will Smith. I hate doing this to Will every single month, and we're not trying to. I feel like some people might say, "Oh, is this a bit now?"
No,
it's not.
no.
People go look at the numbers through July, and you tell us: did Will Smith outperform William Contreras? And especially enough to take him off his Silver Daisy run, which we factor that in a little bit. William has not been great metrically, defensively.
And Will's had a really tough summer. I think the batting average since June might be on the interstate, which that's not Will Smith.
Will Smith had been throwing people out.
Yep.
Not a great blocker, not a great framer, according to the metrics. He's got him defensively, Jake, though, because William has not done anything above average according to the defensive metrics. Does that change anything for you?
Not really, man. I mean, again, this is not a Will Smith bit. Will Smith has struggled for a while. I mean, like since June 1, I'm waiting. Since June 1, 43 games. June 1 to August 6. I mean, the heart of the season. Will Smith has been 190, 287, a 631 OPS.
I wish I didn't look at these August numbers. Has Patrick Bailey just fallen off the face of the earth?
Well, August doesn't even exist yet.
I know, but I just saw him. I'm sorry. I'm going William Contreras.
It's William. Both catchers, Dad's a little disappointed.
Missing somebody?
Dad's just a little disappointed.
Are we missing somebody? I'm trying to think who the National League catchers are, and
oh God, I wish I had his name. Who's the Luis Torrens for the Mets?
Gabby Moreno, like he's hurt now, but
his WAR is in a similar area, but yeah,
there's no way Dalton would have left Gabby Moreno off.
It's about it. Congrats to William Contreras. I don't know. It's something feels off.
Francisco Alvarez?
I think he's behind on games.
Give me Luis Torrens. Where's Real Muto at? Like, what's going on?
He's been hurt.
And his OPS is 685. Let's move on, because I don't know. It's almost hit a sad point, which I was shocked at. The National League first base. Christian Walker was doing special stuff, but kind of and he's now hurt, getting usurped by two of the special people in the sport overall. It started out with Frederick Freeman. It went to Bryce Harper. Their numbers are still neck and neck, man.
Bryce and Freddie, this is going to be a very difficult discussion because they are like almost identical, their numbers. Bryce got him a little bit
almost identical.
Bryce got him a little bit in the slug, but Freddie's going to get him in, the average and the on base. Because that's what he does. Freddie is got a 395 OBP compared to Bryce's 370, but Bryce is slugging 540 compared to Freddie's 493. I mean, those are the separators right there. Bryce 909 OPS, Freddie 888s through July. The homers Bryce is going to have, obviously, 24 to 16. Freddie's got more doubles. Freddie's walk to strikeout is obviously better, 61 walks, 68 Ks. Bryce is 55 to 87. Bryce has been struggling as of late. He's mired in a big slump right now. But this is through July.
Into July a little bit. It's continued.
I talked to Bryce. Did I tell you that?
No.
I went to the Dodgers-Phillies game.
Right.
Walking in, you have to go, by the first base dugout to get down on the field, and it was him and Scotty B. And me and Scotty B are like boys now. And so I'm like, Scotty B, what's up? And then Bryce goes, hey, what's up, Plouffe? That was nice. I didn't know. You never know if they're I was teammates with him for like a week in spring training. This is Bryce Harper, but he was nice. And Teddy had his Phillies Connect.
Nice.
So he was talking. It was really nice. He was great. And I said, "Hey, man, you're having a great year." He's, I'm struggling as a late. I'm like, dude, like, you're gonna be all right. So I had to just name drop right there. Everyone's gonna love that. Comment on how many times I name drop. This is difficult, Pop. I really don't have a lean here. I don't.
So what's your
Freddie's got the games. Is that the edge?
It's about, on the stats we have through the end of July, about 40 plate appearances ahead, and is that 45 plate appearances ahead, and is that enough?
I mean, Bryce has the OPS, like the wars are flip-flop.
Both on good teams.
Freddie's got one more weighted run created plus, 149 to 148. What does that even mean? It's negligible.
1% better.
I've got a cop-out idea.
Okay.
I already sent the text to Jim.
That's not fair. We have to know.
Who are you picking?
You and I. Okay. On 3, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Freddie Freeman.
Bryce.
You're such
No, come on.
such a fucker.
I can't pick this.
It's very difficult. I just said Freddie Freeman because I don't really know why I said Freddie Freeman. I like to walk to strikeout. That's kind of always my separator.
They have the same exact walk rate. Like if it was Freddie was walking more.
Yeah, but the strikeout rate.
I don't care.
I think that strikeout rate by Bryce is still better than league average.
It is better.
Like I don't
sucks
care
for this conversation.
I'm putting in Jom God's hands.
Okay, fine.
Whew.
Freddie hasn't been exactly the best defensive first baseman. Let me see what Bryce has got.
Yeah, I don't want to be rude. Dodger fans, you guys know your team better than I do. The Freddie highlights I've seen this year, it feels like Freddie used to have a step more at first.
Bryce has got 6 outs above average. Freddie has 0. Bryce's savant page is very nice, as you'd expect.
That's good.
And he was nice too.
I'm going Freddie. You're going Bryce. This one's up to Jimmy.
I'm going Freddie. He's going Bryce. We'll find out the answer in a moment. Luckily, Trev, we can catch our breath for a second. Second base, almost at stop the fight level. I'm glad we talked about him last episode. Ketel Marte is putting together a special season. And of the other NL second baseman listed, the Crone Zone, who's played more first base, Jonathan India, who defensively always is going to get knocked, although offensively he really picked it up at a certain point. But he's not even in the same ballpark. Shout out to Luis Garcia. Feel like he's been playing since he was 14 years old now, part of that Nats core. But Ketel Marte is just in a different stratosphere than all these guys.
No, he's I believe probably second in the NL in MVP odds right now.
Pretty nuts.
I think Bryce is still up there for some reason. It's like Shohei Bryce. We're actually looking at the odds, and then Ketel Marte is going to finish top 5 in MVP voting in the NL. So this is kind of a snaps for me, and congratulations to Ketel. He's been. I mean, the Snakes offense. Have you seen like where they're at?
I've seen
in Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
they're top 5 offense in baseball. I think they scored the second runs in all of baseball.
Yeah,
second highest runs. It's crazy.
They're coming.
Sheesh,
they coming. They got a DH that gets discussed in a little bit. But congrats to Ketel Marte, your NL second baseman. Oh man, we got
this is wild.
First reply from John Boy. That's so close. So let's see. He's even. If you got John Boy in the mix, master, that's a good sign. At National League third base,
we're skipping shortstop.
At National League third base, we'll talk about the shortstops first, because we ran into this last month. It was Mookie Betts. He was the guy that was running away with the MVP. Significant injury. That Ellie De La Cruz came onto the scene, and we had a big discussion about him and Lindor. And it's still
this is interesting.
It's still a big discussion with him and Lindor. Shout out to my guy Zeke Tovar doing his thing. But Frankie has, I don't want to say resurged, but resurged. 22 homers. He has 22 steals. On pace for 30-30 again while playing a Gold Glove caliber shortstop position. Meanwhile, in Cincinnati, Elly De La Cruz, who's getting out-homered by Frankie Lindor. He does have 55 stolen bases while also playing an electric brand of defense at shortstop, if nothing else.
No, he's playing Gold Glove defense.
836.
He's been incredible defensively.
As good as Lindor? You're my defense guy. Okay.
Yes.
Well, then if you believe that, then I don't think it's a conversation.
Ooh, see, I still do. I
Go
thought
on.
Ellie's offensive numbers were going to overwhelm Francisco. So Lindor, 12 outs above average in the 99th percentile. Ellie, 10 outs above average in the 97th percentile. And then obviously the arm strength tab on here, which we don't really care about, but it's cool to see. It's so close, Jake. You think Ellie has a much better offensive profile?
If you're telling me that Francisco
22 homers, he's got him an extra base hit, so I guess the 7 triples is
by how many
evens things out.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're even in extra base hits. 71 runs is barely over Ellie's 70 runs. 63 runs driven in.
Okay, there's a tip of the cap.
And they both been
Better
and
team.
well, Lindor's been batting leadoff as of late. That's when he started to get going. Ellie hits where for the Reds?
Elly De La Cruz set the tone. This month they've been having him 2-hole every game.
2-hole.
Ever since May he's been their 2-hole guy. They used to they had him 6 to start the year. But yeah.
2 and 6 only places he's started.
I guess here's where I'm at. The offensive numbers are similar. And I thought Ellie was going to run away with this, but Francisco's put up a great year. And Francisco, he's going to be, and Ellie are going to be top MVP getters, vote getters in the NL this year.
Yeah.
So I guess is the swipes significant enough to sway it to Ellie for me? 55. I mean, Lindor's got 22.
Yeah, and the
It's
cost
no slouch, but you're talking about 33 more through July. Like, that could be the separator, I guess.
If I was Elly De La Cruz's representative in this, I would tell you, we just went through how close everything is. And Lindor's got a couple of the counting stats. Batting average, who's the leader?
It's Ellie.
On base percentage, who's the leader?
It's Ellie. The slash line's there.
Slugging, who's the leader?
Ellie. Do you know what that means? OPS, he's a leader as well.
I was going to skip that because I knew you'd have that as a Stanford man. So if you're telling me that the offense is either there or slightly better, that if you believe the defense is there, and this is before getting to like revolutionary speed on the bases, it's Ellie. Like, I think if you wanted to hang your hat on a Lindor Gold Glove, he does it every year shortstop argument. And I don't know how Ellie feels every day. Reds fans, let me know. I see the highlights.
His range is incredible. Like, he
makes
makes
sense,
the
right?
special play. I believe he leads the league in shortstops with errors.
Okay.
But it's made up for it because of the range that he has. Lindor would be more of a traditional vacuum type of shortstop.
Like hearing you
I
say
love
that.
watching Lindor play.
I'm going Elly De La Cruz.
I'm going Ellie as well.
Yeah. Lindor's coming, and I could see him in the fan vote, people. Get ready for that. In BBD, I think we need the passing button. Passing. From John Boy, I hate having to choose. Feels like one of the closer to in a while. He's going Harper for the slug.
I think that's actually the right play.
Man, that's
the way I didn't know the defensive stuff with Harper. I like that.
I mean, between two of the most
really
well-known
close.
names, two of the best teams to have the stats that close. Congrats to Bryce Harper. Freddie, you might be in the fan vote. Let's see.
I think he's going to be among the fan vote.
NL third baseman. We've had kind of a surprising guy running the table. Alec Bohm. And I said we were going to talk about third baseman after the shortstop. Alec Bohm has run it. And, man, he still has a lot of good offensive numbers. We do have a couple guys entering the chat, including your guy, Matty Chapman, who offensively a tick behind, but you know who he is defensively. Ryan McMahon, future Yankee, lurking. And your boy Mark Vientos made the page, even though he's 40 games short, but that just shows what he's been doing. You did bring up Royce Lewis with 11 games, though, so that makes sense.
I love Mark Vientos. He's my guy.
You do love Mark Vientos.
I dapped him up at Citi Field.
If we had like unlimited budget, we would do like getting to third base with third baseman show where you talk to the third baseman in the league, and Mark Vientos, and Royce Lewis up would go crazy.
Royce Lewis. I don't mean to keep bringing him up, but have you seen his pregame fits?
Yeah.
You need to start looking and chronicling what he's been wearing, because it's like, I don't know if it's good.
Well, he's still young.
Royce.
Yeah.
I think he wore like feathers or something to the Wrigley Field the other day.
Like that. Like any outfit with feathers gets approval from me. Who gets your approval at third base, Trev? This is your spot.
I have no clue, dude. Gosh. Okay, since Bohm has the Silver Daisy still, all 3 months so far, that means something to me, right? Chappie with a massive B-WAR lead, and obviously that's got to be, do with the defense. Although, like, Bohm's defense has actually been he's graded up pretty well. I don't know. I think B-WAR uses defensive run saves and F-WAR uses outs above average. I'm pretty sure that's the difference in the defensive metrics there.
Ooh.
I mean, Bohm's offensive has just been 73 runs driven in. You want a run producer from your third baseman. Now, the power numbers aren't great for any of these guys, which is kind of shocking to me. The leader on our sheet is 16, which is nuts. So, Bohm 38 dubs, far and away the best. Those will turn into homers eventually. I think he still has it. Chappie's got 12 swipes on the year.
Yeah, how about
great.
that?
That means that hip is feeling good. That's why I think last year defensively didn't grade out great, and this year he's feeling healthy and he's back to doing what we know he can do out there. I think I got to give it to Bohm here. I think he's got to stay on. I don't think Chappie's done enough offensively to kind of unseat him from the throne.
It hasn't happened yet, but Matt Chapman has had a couple nice games in August. I think you're right. It hurts me a little bit, Trev. I know in a horribly...
Jake, 295, Chappie's hitting 241. The on-base percentage, Bohm's 353, Chappie's 333. It's great. He's out slugging him, which means his OPS is higher, which means the way to run creative plus is higher. Like, he's got it. It's. I know we love Chappie. We know the kind of player he is, but Bohm, the stats speak for themselves.
Yeah, and there's something being said about him being how good he's been for Philly this year. Like, go look at Castellanos' page. Go look at JT Realmuto's page. What Bohm has meant for them. You're right. If the OPS was down just a couple notches, like this is the NL's Altuve Simeon a little bit. Although Chapman has been an above average hitter. I don't think this story is written, Natasha Bedingfield. But yeah, it's Alec Bohm for now. For now. And I mean, that's a big one because he's a Daisy guy.
Yeah, you better put up a big August for us, man. Prove us right.
Chappie's coming. I like what you said about that hip. Man, that B war. Trev, let's round it off with the American League outfield, DH, and pitcher, and it's all brought to you by AG1. AG1, foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut health support, is backed by multiple research studies so you can trust what you're putting in your body. AG1 was shown to double the amount of healthy bacteria in the gut. That healthy bacteria works together to break down food and are known to alleviate bloating, promote digestive regularity, and aid in digestive comfort. So, if you're looking for whole body health support, it's AG1. And that's why I'm excited to have them as a partner and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2. Sure. And 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. drinkag1.com/baseball. There's a link in the description. I know Chris Rose has a hell month coming. I know he likes to travel with his AG1. That's how, Chris Rose, it's a secret of the company. He's 140 years old. He looks great for his age. I don't know.
He's like the what's her name? Melisandre?
Yes. It's Melisandre, the red lady.
Yeah, when he goes home, he just takes off whatever spells on him. He's just 140.
I had someone reach out.
Those Jordans off.
They posted a floorball. Me and Rosie yelled at each other, and they're like, "Was this stage?" I was like, "No, I get hot on that floorball court. Floorball coming soon, Trev.
It is coming soon." And Rosie, like, the potion wore off while we were filming floorball when we were walking back that one night.
Don't.
This guy, he looked like he was 140. I almost had to help him freaking get to the room.
National League outfield.
Can I start?
Please. The only thing I would like to tease, I mentioned this earlier, that we talked about AL West DHs. NL West center fielders have taken the stage.
No, we have the center fielder. It's Brenton Doyle. Like, I think that I don't even think it's close.
You don't think Jackson Merrill's in the convo?
I do not. I'm sorry. Jackson Merrill has a 768 OPS. Brenton Doyle, he had like a 500 OPS last year, has an 813. That's because, Jake, the guy's got 18 bombs on the year, dude. He's got 21 swipes on the year. Like,
what color's that glove?
Platy. It was gold for now, but it might be platy.
I was gonna say, I thought it was gold.
No, he's got.
The answer's correct. I do want to say, Elliot Ramos, our guy. He's short on the games. Otherwise, we would be in a hell conversation right now. And Jackson Merrill, who did win it last month, he does get surpassed. Because, like you said, Brent Doyle led baseball in homers last month from center field while stealing bases and playing defense. Kelsey Winger, we had a nice Brenton Doyle combo the other day. She said he's the best center fielder in baseball. I said Aaron Judge exists. She said Brenton Doyle's the best center fielder in the NL. I said, you're right.
Yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Because he's not, Aaron Judge isn't supposed to be a center fielder. That's the whole thing.
He's not supposed to. He's not even supposed to be like a human. I don't know what he is.
Congrats to Brenton Doyle. Congrats to the NL Central. If you like watching center fielders, bring it night in, night out. You've got that.
NL West.
NL West. Excuse me.
You're excused.
I appreciate that. And I should take everyone on the NL Central roller coaster because Brenton Doyle did it in April. So he returns to the throne. Jazz Chisholm, your Yankees' third baseman, was the center fielder. What a fun sport we've got. Jackson Merrill took it. He's now lost it. Jurickson Profar has been here throughout. And then we had, look at this hodgepodge, Talkman, Yelich, and Nimmo.
I know. This is where it gets interesting, Pop, because I do believe that Jerkson Profar still needs a spot on this team. He is a Silver Daisy candidate, and the numbers are still there. He's hitting 304. The OPS is the highest on our sheet.
Yeah, he stays.
He's in.
He stays.
So Jerkson gets a snap for me. He's in.
Snaps from us. Profar stays. Okay. Weighted runs created plus. Still the on base is in a closer to 395. He has been great this year. Now
this is where it gets crazy.
Okay, I'll let you cook.
Because I think you mentioned Ramos.
Yeah.
We're talking NL West again. You mentioned Ramos, and we have Jackson Merrill. He exists. And Teoscar Hernandez exists. One of these guys is going to get the nod, and the other couple guys are going to be upset. And I think they have a reason to be upset. Everything is very, very close here, Jake. Brian Reynolds might be upset. We haven't even talked about him. This is a very, I think Brenton Doyle and Jerkson Profar have kind of they've made it. I think those are the correct choices. Yeah. The third choice for the outfield is very difficult.
Man, Nimmo must have had a tough month because we were hyped for him last month. Brian Reynolds bank. Seiya Suzuki, what? I'm looking and I'm a liking.
Jeez, Nimmo.
Yeah.
Did Yelly do enough to hold on to it? Is that a cop-out?
He was kind of behind on plate appearances when we gave it to him, and I think the gap widened.
It's a cop-out.
Yeah, no, he's out.
I'll say it. Go Doors. Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds for me, man. I think the stats are above anyone else there. 837 OPS on the year now. 286. I mean, 19 homers. Brian Reynolds, I'm slightly unfamiliar with that game. Although I guess that's on pace for... God, his page is a lot more consistent than you think it would be. I think he had 1 year where he got out of the gates pretty slow. He produces. I guess
we have to take out Elliot Ramos.
He's out.
He's out.
Behind.
He's performed and he's been great, but if we're saying Yelly with 73 games can't be there, we can't give it to Elliot. With 72 games.
The last 2 months, Brian Reynolds. Whoo! Okay, I'm feeling better about my pick. I was wondering if I just kind of went Vandy and getting tired at the end of the episode. Chris Rose effect. Come on. That's just not nice, Jake. I idolize Chris Rose. Stop being mean to him. Brian Reynolds. I think we're looking at 330 batting average the last 2 months. 9.9 OPS. I like people that
give it to Teoscar. I might give it to Teoscar.
You're getting grouchy on me, Teoscar.
I think we need a Jom. You're going Brian Reynolds. I think I'm going Teoscar.
Okay.
The production is there.
22
Sorry,
homers.
Jackson Merrill right now. You're a rookie. You're going to have plenty of time to get on this.
Yeah, page. Need more. Brian Reynolds, are we stealing bases? 6. Teoscar's 4. So that's it. Teoscar, Brian Reynolds to the Jom vote.
Yeah, let's do it. I like that.
Okay. The text has been sent. National League DH. Still feels funny saying that sometimes. There's a guy.
There's a guy who's pretty good. Who's going to win MVP?
Shohei, who's been boxing out Marcell Ozuna all year. Although Marcel's won the fan vote twice for how good he has been. The other thing, I wanted to say this before when you were talking about that Snakes offense. Jock Peterson, dude.
Yes.
When this was posted, it was at the end of the month, it was a 908 OPS. I think it's gotten better in the past couple days. He's a big part of those Snakes scoring runs. Kyle Schwarber has entered the chat. He's doing Schwarby things, but Ozuna and Ohtani have been at it all year. And again, unfortunately for Marcell Ozuna, Shohei Ohtani is Shohei Ohtani.
He's one of the fastest players in the game, one of the most powerful players in the game. He runs away with it in a landslide. So
28 stolen bases out of Shohei. This was the end of the month. Again, August hasn't happened yet. I know he's hit 30-30. To Marcell Ozuna, 0. But, yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, 3-4-6.
Yeah?
He's 3-4-6 in it.
That
him
does
and Judge
it.
are the only ones doing it.
I like those guys. Remember that AL MVP race? Okay, so who does this leave for you, Till? I feel like Marcell is back. Freddie has to be in it. And then Lindor?
Freddie's in it, Lindor. And you're saying who? Ozuna?
Yeah.
If he's won it before, I say put him out there.
Matt Chapman?
I don't mind that. Are you missing anybody else? Yeah, can you put Chappie in there?
It feels like a bad crop.
Giants
I think
on this
he's
list.
short
You got rid
of
of Patrick
fan
Bailey. Put a Giant on there.
Ooh.
Right.
We need one of the Giants.
Put Chappie.
Sheesh, dude.
Maybe just put
Give 4.
the whole San Francisco Giants. Matt Chapman and Elliot Ramos combined for half.
Patrick
of
Bailey
plus
clears.
Chapman.
You know we're going to get that comment.
Definitely not
Difficult what we do, guys.
getting it now. Hey, we do it. Has any award show ever done it this openly? No. Normally it's behind the scenes so people can hide and quiver. Not us. Not us, pal.
Then we put out the graphic that nobody understands and we get yelled at.
Not me texting John Boy before we made our Freddie and Harper votes. Trev, National League pitcher, before we send it home. Hunter Green, the breakout has happened. Crazy that if you told Cincy fans that before the year, they would have told you probably big tings. Paul Skeens is on the board. That's a innings conversation that I don't think we're ready to have, but God, it's been special. Ranger Suarez, who held on to the slot, not only did he have a couple slippery starts, but that led to him going to the IL. Zach Wheeler, perennially listed here. Yeah. And then Chris Sale, who I think is my early lean, 13-3, 2.71. The innings are there. The strikeouts are there. Everything has been there for Chris Sale. I think we just assumed.
He's been nuts.
Everyone kind of was waiting for the injury that hasn't happened. For whatever reason, B-War really likes Hunter Green more than Sale. For me, I'm seeing Sale. Are you seeing something different?
Shout out Paul Skeens for putting himself there. I believe he has 11 quality starts of 13, which is nice to see. But yeah, I think Sale has done enough here and has the stats to support it that I'm going Sale as well. He learned a new changeup instead of pronating it. He's cutting it, and it's seam shifted wake, Jay. Seam shifted wake on the changeup. Okay, that's all you really need to know, Pop. Just say that word, and people are like, oh yeah, that guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's the.
There's a new thing called like a spiked changeup.
Oh,
and like they put I think it's a middle finger and kind of like they spike that and it like kicks it off its axis and creates whatever, and a lot of crazy stuff happening with pitching that scares the crap out of me. But Sale has my vote as well. And hey, possibly Skeens can make up ground and steal the last month or so. But right now it's Sale. And yes, shout out Hunter Green. He's been phenomenal. We talked about how I gave him an award on Talking Baseball. What a great deal for the Reds.
It's crazy. The stats every time I bring him out, it's like, damn, Hunter Green is there. The quality starts. He's putting together a great season, but the Condor Chris Sale. I know we've talked about it, and we're winding down. And am I burning a little time waiting for a gym text? Sure. Remember they traded for him and extended him?
Yes.
We're like, Chris Sale's old. Chris Sale's been hurt. Maybe he's going to be a reliever for them in the playoffs. He's been the best pitcher in the National League. What's that Braves Foundation doing?
Well, they just lost Ronaldo Lopez, which is tough.
Yeah.
I saw Sean Manaea looking like Chris Sale. Last couple starts, he's been unhittable.
Okay. Nice.
He's not on the list, but I just wanted to shout that out because I feel like he should be like Chris Sale. Like, hey, Sean, just go look at Chris Sale's tape and just do what he does. I think he has the ability to do that.
I would tell every young pitcher to not throw like Chris Sale. I think you got to have a unique body type. The text is in. The final National League outfield spot goes to Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh,
congratulations, Brian Reynolds.
Shocker, you and Jim in lockstep.
Lockstep. I didn't even text him. I've just been doing my votes. Hey, grindy, all JM. Make sure you guys participate in the fan vote. This matters. This matters for Daisies. Thank you guys. Fun Ep Friday.
It's me and somebody from Cabo.
Cabo Wabo. See if Matthew can pop on.
Bathing suit Pep?
Oh, hey, use
August. Need it.
Strip app.
The Trevor and Olivia app, brought to you by Lotion. Suntan Lotion.